What's good, everybody? It's your boy Big Nate. Welcome to Big Nate's Book Reactions, home of the best book reactions. And today we are reacting to Toni Morrison, a real quick interview, but about her talking about Beloved, which I read probably like a couple months ago at this point. I've never really heard her speak, and I have a feel she seems like one of those people that speaks as well as she writes, which is to say she's going to be a very good speaker. And I just, to be honest, I just did a couple like mid-ish reactions of Lucy Shin, so I'm hoping this one's fire. So let's get right into it. Okay, that's recording. Let's just do this full screen and okay. Toni Morrison, Beloved.
By that time, I had written Tar Baby, which was a kind of very, I don't know, it's almost pre-slavery. I mean, it touches slavery, but it's all very magical and mystical and less political in terms of what goes on the inside.
Okay.
Because I was working with that mythology of the Tar Baby, just converting it into something else. And that's a very, very old story, and I assume its origins were African.
Dang, it's kind of crazy knowing Toni Morrison's a real person. I know that sounds, but to have such a crazy, just brilliant mind, and she's here, she's just in the flesh.
Yes. Not American. And so the melding of those stories was interesting to me, how you get in the mythology a lot of information that is just unavailable in the history, because the history is going to be written for... it's written by the conquerors,
yes,
obviously.
Yes.
Less so now, but certainly then.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
But I deliberately, I remember thinking about Beloved, I really don't want to do this. I really wanted to talk about that incident with a historical figure.
Okay, I think the incident historical figure, it's like, what was her name? Margaret Garner? Something like that. But the actual historical person upon which she might be about to say everything I'm about to say right now, but you can hear from Big Nate first. The incident upon which, from which Beloved is based, where it's basically like it was this woman who tried to escape like her enslavers basically, and she was basically cornered and like she knew she was gonna get caught, and like the sheriffs or whoever were like barging in the door, and when they barged in, they saw her. I think her name is Margaret Garner. It's something like that. Watch my Beloved review for just to confirm. But she was in the process of killing her children in an attempt to save them from slavery and the horrors of slavery. So as horrific as it sounds, it was coming from a good place, because she just did not want her own children to endure what she had endured. At that point, death is almost a better alternative than a life of slavery and being enslaved. But anyway, so that's who she's talking about. She might be about to say all that, but we'll see.
Indeed,
who had did. But I was really upset because I had to talk about slavery in particular, because I assumed I knew everything anyway, so. And I didn't want to dredge it up. The same thing I'm accusing everybody else of, because emotionally it's difficult.
Yes, yes.
So I did.
Didn't even really think about that, dude. Imagine writing having to do extensive research on your people getting like generations and generations of enslavement. Yeah, you're right. That would be crazy. That would be, when you think about it, it's like, I'm obviously not in a position to really speak about this, but think about it like, it's like, imagine if you're not black. Imagine if you were black and just having to deal with that extra layer of shit that like non-black people, and it's not just black people, it's like just like people who are discriminated against in general. But like you see like the George Floyd stuff, you see all these like police brutes. That's just something that weighs on you in a way, like, because it's like your people, that's just like an extra burden that you have to deal with that other people, I mean, that's not true, but for them, like, what I'm saying, no other race really has to deal with seeing other people of their own race regularly and systemically getting discriminated in like brutal and violent way, not even to mention, that's just like in today, not even to mention like, slavery. But there is kind of like a racial, trauma or burden that you have to bear that like other people don't. I don't know, but anyway, whatever.
And it was very, very hard not so much to find the language.
Like, I'm half Chinese. Imagine this is not the kid. Like, I mean, actually, there's been instances, but imagine if just I was just seeing on the news every couple months Chinese people just getting like brutally like beat the fuck out of or killed or like whatever, just like a bunch of anti-Chinese. And I'm not even really like, to be honest, I'm really not even. It's a thing I'm working on, but I'm not even that connected with my roots. But just imagine if that were the case, like that would weigh on me. And you know, this is where the whole privilege thing comes from, I guess, because it's like this is not something that I feel like it hits different when it really is your own people. Not to say that this stuff doesn't disturb me to the fullest, to my core and everything, but you know, it's different when it's truly, when you see yourself and the people that it's happening to. But anyway.
Language for it. That was difficult enough. But for me, in the process of writing, it is just not authentic or legitimate enough for me to look at it from the outside. You know, I always tell my students, it's not a black father.
Her students, dude, imagine being taught by Toni. I would put that shit on my resume, bro. Took a class with Toni Morrison. Damn.
It's yours. You know,
wait, hold on.
It's not a black father. It's yours.
Yeah.
You know
exactly.
the one you know?
Yes.
That one.
Yeah.
So if I'm going to imagine what it takes to kill your baby,
yeah.
then I have to put in my arms my baby.
Damn.
The one that...
Get into the feelings.
That's right.
Yes.
Damn.
And when that happens, and it's difficult, then the language just pares down.
Mm.
You don't get ornamental with that. You get very still, very clean-limbed, and very quiet.
She is speaking like she's writing, bro. That's crazy.
Because the event itself is bigger than language.
Mm-hmm.
But you have to want to know that.
But you have got to
Yes.
want to know that.
Yes.
So you can get there. So you can get there and say it.
That's right.
Somebody asked me once, they said, where's that part in Beloved? I can't find it where she actually cuts, you know. And I said, I don't know. We started looking. And I said, it was so buried. I mean, you know it all along because they said so.
From the beginning, I actually did not know about like that event going into it, and yeah, it's like hinted at. There's like little nods to it from the very beginning. It's like the iceberg theory thing, where it's like it's not actually getting brought out into the open. No one's actually speaking about this thing that happens, but just from little context clues, little hints, you get the vibe that for one, something very big and like something devastating happened. And then like you get a little more details, and eventually it's almost like the event itself is like, I don't know, at that, like she says, it's buried, and it's like at what point did it happen? Because it's like the book revolves around the whole thing, almost to the point where the incident itself isn't even at that point like, I don't know, not important, but like salient. I don't know, whatever, fuck it.
But the actual moment when it happens is so buried in the text you can barely find it.
Yeah.
Which is precisely what one wanted it to be.
Oh, bro, it's over already? Dang. Okay, that was cool. That was like the one of the only clips I could find of the Beloved interview. At least that's not like extremely long, but that was cool. That was a nice little gem. In fact, I want to see more of it. Maybe I'll look for other stuff. But anyway, that was Toni Morrison talking about Beloved, and thank you for watching Big Nate's Book Reactions, which is home of the best book reactions.